this is Vanity B and my best friend Axe.
What's up?
So today we're going to be talking about some Q&As about being trans, some questions that you guys asked on my previous videos. So we're only going to be answering 8 of them. So sorry, we're on a time crunch because you know this homegirl doesn't like to edit. So. Question 1. How do I treat a transgender person with respect?
Well, you treat them how you would treat anybody else with respect. Don't ask questions about what's in their pants, firstly, when you meet them. Don't say, oh, I would have never been able to know that you were trans.
Right, yeah, guessed.
You know, anything that's really offensive, something you wouldn't ask, you wouldn't want somebody to ask yourself.
Yeah, okay. For me, I would say, always tell them their correct pronouns. So if they're dressed as a girl, call them she or her, or don't call them about the wrong pronouns, even though you grew up with them as being a boy or a girl. Always respect them as a person because it takes a lot being trans. So, I mean...
Yeah, you could just ask them what they prefer if it's not obvious.
They're not going to get offended if he's like, hey, what's your pronouns? You know, they're going to say, okay, gladly, they're going to tell you. There might be some gender fluid people out there that, was it like they and them?
Yeah, they and them. I think it is.
I don't really know like their pronouns really, but I know that all you have to do is just ask. It's okay to ask. Mm-hmm. Okay, so question 2. Will my penis and testicles become less sensitive on estrogen? So, I guess I can go my perspective.
Yeah, because I don't know the answer to this.
Oh, goodness gracious, guys, this is going to get rated like R, like 0 to 5 seconds. Okay. No, they won't be less sensitive. It will be a little bit harder to work with if you're like, I don't know, like into like,
What, having it like touched and stuff?
Yeah, like having it touched is not going to work as much as pre-estrogen. It would be a little bit harder to get off with that if you're into like masturbation and whatnot, from my perspective. It may be different from other trans girls, but from my perspective, it didn't become more sensitive. It just became like a limb, like a dead limb.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you start taking testosterone, of course, a lot of things are going to change. And these could be trigger words for anybody, but obviously clitoris is going to get bigger. It's going to be like a small penis, and you're going to want to have sex more.
So you get like really horny, right?
It kind of depends on the person. When I started testosterone, beforehand I was really horny, and then after I started taking it, I think it was like a little bit lower than what my normal testosterone range is. Like if I'd been born a male, it would have been way higher. But I got a little bit less horny, and it also just kind of depends on your mood.
Yeah,
but any sort of like touch or anything is it's gonna be sensitive down there. So I think I was never a trans guy that liked to be penetrated or whatever. But for the guys that are out there that do, I think that it gets more dry down there. This is almost like your body's going through menopause while you're going through these changes. You're going through your second puberty. Lots of acne. You'll lose a little bit of breast tissue. Your body fat should redistribute, and you'll get some of these sweet muscles. So
sweet
voice
muscles.
will drop, all that stuff. So and your nipples get really sensitive for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I know my nipples get really sensitive with estrogen. Like especially after I take my shot, like my boobs ache for days. Like, and they get like a little bit swollen.
Yeah, I don't remember that much, but my nipples were really, they were sensitive anyways, but they kind of were more sensitive after.
Like amplified and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really like any of that stuff being touched.
Yeah, he's like, do not touch me. But now I'm like, oh girl, touch him. Okay. How was your parents about your transition?
Really shitty at first. Really, really shitty. I had a really bad experience coming out to either one of them. I don't talk to my dad. My mom was really bad about it at first. She's recently come around, but that was like, I don't know, 9 years later. So everybody's parents are different.
My parents, my mom, on the other hand, like she was all for it. She bought my first outfit. Like she was very, very supportive. My dad's side of the family and my dad was very non-supportive. They would call me male pronouns and call me by my birth name and everything else. It was like really shady. And I stopped being around them for a long time because I was like, if I can't be myself, then I might as well not go there. And they got the hint. I was like, I don't fuck around. Like I don't care. Like if you don't like me, then I'm not going to go
Be
around
in your life, right?
But now, when I'm older, and they actually seen that this is not a phase. This is actually, this is who I am. Now they actually come around and call me she, and they call me B and Burkini and whatnot. So it's a little bit more better. There's some family members out there that still call me by my birth name and whatnot, and I don't associate with them anymore. So I have to stay around.
It's about what you have to do.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta protect yourself in the long run, and you can make your own family. Even though like we're blood not related, but I consider him as my family more than anything. So, your blood family will be shitty to you. Not everyone's family will be, but my blood family was, and I made my own little family. So I'm just happy as it can be.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you just gotta protect yourself before you wreck yourself. Ooh, new quote. Okay. How's the dating life? How do you tell them you're trans?
Dating life is not so bad, but it can be tricky with tricky waters. It's not super hard getting a date, I guess, if you're attractive or conceited, whatever. If you're good at getting a date before, you'll be good at getting a date afterwards. It's tricky, like telling them. I usually get to know the person first, unless I'm trying to date someone that's trans too, then it doesn't really matter. If I'm trying to date someone that's not trans, then I'll wait till we get to know each other first, and then I'll let her know. And it usually goes one of two ways. It's usually an instant turn on, or it's instantly repulsive. So it's about how it goes. Yeah.
Dating life, I mean, like Ax said, if was good at dating before, and it's gonna be good now. But like for me, on the other hand, before hormones, I was like that. I don't know, like that it thing that I was like either a boy or a girl, and no one could know. So it was like, what are you? And I got like questions. Some people thought I was a butch lesbian, and I was like, no, no, I'm not. And so I was like, well, this really sucks. So I didn't really get my first boyfriend until when I started transitioning. That's when I started growing my hair out, playing with makeup and whatnot, and that's when I first started to date. I was really young when I started transition. I was about 16 when I first started. So I guess roughly like 17, 18 is when I got my first boyfriend. And then like dating life for me now, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy for me now. But it can escalate two different ways. Like they either see you as a fantasy. Majority of the guys, I'm not saying all of them, but majority of the guys that I spoke to and they didn't know at all, and I told them, they were like, oh my gosh, this is like my biggest fantasy. They watch transgender porn or MTF or FTM porn or whatnot like that.
Yeah, that's not real life.
Yeah, it's not real life. People don't really do that. They do that for money. And then there is another way when they get like really creeped out or threatening. They're like really threatening, like, oh my gosh, like why didn't you tell me and whatnot. I don't tell anyone until the second date. I have the first date with them and see how that goes, and then I tell them, hey, my mom's gay, but my mom is married.
Sort of gauge them with that.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know, like test the waters a little bit.
I'll gauge girls sometimes with, how do you feel about, a law that just passed that has to do with gay or transgender?
Yeah.
And if they're really about it, I'm like, okay, maybe you'll be cool with this.
Yeah, like maybe, like if they say, well, I'm a Christian, or I don't believe in that, I believe in, man and woman, and I was like, okay, and just pretend I didn't tell them, and then go home and block the number. But if they're like, okay, yeah, like, oh, I have a best friend that's gay, I'm like, okay, so you have a best friend gay, so that means you're open-minded. So I'm like, okay. And like, majority of that's how I kind of like catch water and stuff. But
Yeah, I'd say that's a good way. It doesn't work for everybody, but it can.
I've been doing that for like 3 years.
Really? Well, back when I was more androgynous, I used to get asked if I was a boy or girl a lot before I started T. And some people thought I was a boy, some people thought I was a girl. But I had interest.
Kind of like that gender fluid stage.
Kinda, I guess.
Cause like I wanted to be a girl, but I didn't have like no girl's clothes, but I looked like a girl, but I dressed like a boy because I was forced to.
My mom used to try to dress me up. I would try to rebel in little ways. Like if it was some sort of stupid pencil skirt or something, I'd sag it a little bit and then you could see my butt crack.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody thought I was in some kind of butt crack game. But
Butt crack game. Okay.
I feel embarrassed about saying that now.
How long have you been on HRT?
Since 2007 or 2008. A long time. It's been like, shit. 10 years, almost. 10 years in August.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been on hormones for going on my 6th year. So, in November will be my 6th year. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, what all surgeries have you gotten?
Almost all of them. Methodioplasty. I had a vaginectomy. All that shit's closed up. And I had chest surgery. So, I've got the scars and new nipples and stuff.
Okay. I haven't had any surgeries done. I'm all natural. Not kidding. I had my lips done. I got my lips injected with Juvederm. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got my lips injected with Juvederm about 6 months ago, so my lips are a little bit bigger, and they last for about 2 years. And so this has hyaluronic acid, so every time I drink more water, or if I'm around moisture or whatnot, my lips will get bigger. So it's kind of nice. And the other question is, what kind of surgery would you get? Like, if there's any more surgeries for you? I think you pretty much got them all.
I wish I could get a penis transplant and not have to take fucking those immune system medicine or whatever that fucks you over for the rest of your life.
Is that actually a real surgery? A penis?
Yeah. They basically they'll take it off of like an organ donor or whatever. It's not. They're doing it more for like wounded vets and like not trans men right now.
Right now, but
in the future, possibly. I also heard they're making these like parts of penises in laboratories out of your own like tissue down there right now. They said it still doesn't work for like trans men yet, but it's a possibility in the future. It could be something that you could look into, and you wouldn't have to use that anti-immune system medicine.
Because it's out of your own body.
Right. Exactly. So that's a possibility in the future. If I could get that, I would get it like that.
Like that, get that care insurance that pays for it.
Right.
All the surgeries that I would get, I would definitely get liposuction, especially in my thighs. I don't really like my thighs; they're really big. And then I would get some liposuction in my stomach and like put it in my boobs a little bit more. But I have pretty big boobs already, so I don't really need those. I would definitely get bottom surgery. Definitely bottom surgery. I feel like when I do get my bottom surgery, my transition will be complete. Right now I'm pretty much in that stage right now that is just steady. I'm in a steady stage until I get the bottom surgery because I don't need to change anything. I don't need to alter anything because I'm happy with my body. Are you attracted to men or women?
Women and feminine.
Women.
Feminine. Oh, let's put it this way: I'm more attracted to feminine people because I love women and yes, I love pussy, but I'm open to trans women.
Oh, he's open to trans women, girls. You went out there.
I'm seeing somebody right now.
Okay. Alright. I am attracted to men. I'm open to dating a trans guy, but I'm attracted to the masculinity. Like, I don't know, like my estrogen thrives for testosterone. I'm just like, ooh, smell them muscles, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's like skinny. Okay, like my heart tells me don't become a fuck girl, but my hormones like fuck everybody. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, my heart's like, oh, be so moral, you know, blah blah blah. My hormones like, let's be a rabbit and just like fuck everything.
See, and I'm over here on testosterone, which is the horniest of the hormones or whatever. And yes, of course I want to fuck, but I have morals too.
Yeah, I have morals too, but I'm just like, you know, it only happens to me like once a month though. Like after I take my shot and like.
It's like a cycle for like a bio girl.
Yeah, it's like
they get
it's
really
like
horny
basically
before
a period type of thing.
Right before they get their period, they get really horny. So maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god, WTF. But I am seeing somebody right now. He's really okay with me being trans. Like our first talk about being trans and whatnot, he was really supportive, so I'm really glad about that.
Yeah, no, I started talking to this girl, and obviously it was okay because she's trans too, and so yeah, really good.
All right, that's all the questions for us today. If you have any more questions, make sure to comment down there below. Okay, I'll put my links in the down bar. My bio.